It's a pleasure to be here today, and I tell you what, this is the kind of stuff that needs to happen a lot more often and with a lot more people, because Dalton McGuinty and Jim Watson are very much like taking my directions from my son when it comes to going to Tim Hortons and grabbing a quick coffee and an English muffin on the way here this morning. Will you pull into the parking, you pull into the line? Okay, what do you guys all want? Oh no, we're okay. As you pull around to the thing, oh wait, I want this, I want that, I want this, and the poor girl in the Tim Hortons is going, what was that? What was that? Hang on, I got to get it all straight. Now I'm terrible for that anyway. So we're in this line, we get all the orders compiled, and then finally I tell her what we want, and somebody back says, no, I wanted, oh, for crying out loud, make up your mind. So we get it all ordered, we get all paid for. You come out, you can't turn left. So my son says, no, I got it figured out. There's a super secret passage. I said, there's a what? So he said, yeah, get back in the line, and when you see this little gap about that wide, put your car through there. What? Sounds like a backroom deal. So you go down this thing, and he says, you got to turn right. I can't turn right. He says, go down here, turn left then. What? So you go down, turn left, and this little cave of a tree, it's just, I said, are you sure you're not a liberal? Because that's how they work. Twist and turn, wheel and deal all over the place. The problem is it's always done out of sight, out of mind. Food preparation tax, HST, all this stuff, they negotiate this stuff well in advance, and then they come as if they didn't have any choice. Well, the guys above us made us do it. Ever heard of the word no? Ever heard of the word that's not good for the people that we represent? I guess not. Now, this week was one of the most important anniversaries in our history. It was the anniversary of the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. And a guy called Wolfe, that's him, James, showed up on a flat spot above Quebec City, and they had a little feud with a guy called Montcalm. And James won. And he set the course for Canadian history. Mr. Wolfe is the father of the country. Now, the reason why it's significant today is because he's the kind of stock from which we come. He's the kind of people that we can draw our lineage from. And the people in Afghanistan who are fighting for our protection and for the protection of the Afghanis come from the same stock. So if Mr. Wolfe can find a tiny little goat path up onto a hill and take the other guys by surprise, imagine what we can do to Mr. McGuinty and Mr. Watson. You know, it's not, there's an old, I love the old agrarian sayings. It's not the size of the fight in the dog. It's not the size of the dog in a fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. And this dog is a little bit annoyed. And we might not be all that big, but our teeth are long and are sharp. And we have had about enough of being told from on high that cell phones are now the latest craze in education. I mean, I'm sorry. Can you smoking? There, I have a feeling he won't. Never mind. We won't go there. Yeah. Anyway, the point is, can you imagine you're a teacher, okay? And oh, remember, they're going to be used under very strict guidelines. They will not be. Yes, they could be a distraction. What do you mean, could be? You just ban them on all the highways because they're a major distraction. People get killed using these things. Don't you think they should pay just a little bit of attention to what the teacher has to say in the classroom? If it's a bad idea on the highway, don't you think it's a bad idea in the classroom? How is a teacher supposed to maintain any kind of control when, oh, excuse me, yes, what are you wearing to the dance tonight? Oh, isn't Jimmy to die for? Oh, yes, and then the boys are going, yeah, did you see that one in the back row? Oh, baby. I mean, come on, kids are kids. They're going to manipulate this stuff, and this is the best he can offer us? There was a reason people used to teach their own kids. Homeschooling is the tradition in this country. This idea of public education is relatively new. So as a group, we took all our kids and we said, all right, because we share common values and because at the time they weren't making a big mess of things, we'll allow you to take that responsibility and we'll keep an eye on you. We're talking to the public education system and the Catholic education system. And we turned our children over to them. And over time, we got so busy paying taxes, so busy trying to make ends meet, so busy trying to meet the demands of the environmentalists and the globalists, you name the crowd, all of a sudden they're doing things to our kids we didn't know about and would never agree to. And they wonder why we get upset. Now they come up with cell phones in the classroom. Okay, so if that's, what's next? They already tried to take over how we're supposed to educate our kids on bedroom topics a little while ago and don't think that's dead. See, the thing with these liberals is they never quit. They never stop. If you defeat them today, they don't look at that as a defeat. They look at it as a tactical withdrawal. And they go away and they put a new little bow on it, and they come back. And they slide it into another piece of legislation when nobody's looking, because they're about that thick. And only the first 2 pages actually matter until you get down to page 476,000. And there is that, oh, by the way, teachers are going to have to teach this stuff, stuffed in the back where nobody sees it. And that's the tactic they use over and over and over again, because they bury us in legislation knowing we'll never find the really dangerous stuff. It's a problem with ideology. It is a problem with not the method of governance, but the attitude of governance. The people in office now have a plan for you. They just didn't bother to tell you what it is. Because if they did, they would never get another vote in this province from anywhere, from anybody. And that's the truth. That's just the way it is. So, let's remember James and what he did to set this country on the course to being the greatest country in the world. Let's remember that we come from that stock. Let's remember what the guys like Jim Watson and Dalton McGuinty have done to that heritage and are doing to it every day. We got guys over in Afghanistan who are going to have to come back here. What kind of province do we want them to come back to? What kind of country do we want them to come back to? Will it be worth the sacrifice that they've made? Will it be worth the sacrifice that people like our war veterans have made? The guys who fought in World War I, World War II, Korea. There's an unappreciated group, is the guys who fought in Korea. I've been doing some reading about them this week. It blows my mind what they went through. Unbelievable. Take some time and learn your history a little bit. That's an incredible story. So, let me leave you with this. Last time we were together, I told you about George. Do we have anybody here called George? You all better put your hands up. All right. This time it's James. They all have the same thing in common. Uncommon courage. James. You have it too. Let's put it to work. Thank you very much.